All right, welcome to the United Matters channel. It's United versus Brentford match day live. Another catastrophe has gone ahead to hit Manchester United with the injury of Rafael Varane not being into the Man United squad, and Harry Maguire is in to obviously plays into that position with another United player. So smash the like button, comment and share if at all you're watching us for the very first time, and never to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and I can as well go into what we call the live chat and tell us what your prediction is, whether you see a United win, whether you see a draw, and whether you obviously see a Brentford win. All right, start poll. All right, you can as well tell me what your thoughts are about that, and let's smash the like button, comment and share if you're only watching us for the very first time, and endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Without further ado, let's go into this starting 11 of Man United. Andre Onana maintaining his position in goal, Lindelof, Amrabat, Harry Maguire, Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Højlund, Casemiro, Dalot, and Johnny Evans. Substitutes: Ben Dayer, Eriksson, Hannibal, Scott McTominay, Pelestri, Donny van de Beek, Anthony Garnacho, and Anthony Martial. That is the starting 11 of Manchester United as we face this side of Brentford. Then when we go to the starting 11 of Brentford, Strakosa, Roosevelt, Aja, Pino, Collins, Heike, Nogard, Janalet, Jensen, Mbuemo, Wissa. Substitutes: they're having Balkombe, Maupi, Zanka, Gudos, Onyeka, Yamlukuk, Jisu, Olagibe, and Bihieri. That is the starting 11. Those are the substitutes of Brentford as they go into this big encounter to obviously face a wounded lion of Manchester United. Are they going to wound the lion more? We wait and see whether it's obviously going to go down the aisle like that. Now, the system of Man United, they've gone ahead to deploy at Old Trafford to take on Brentford. As usual, it's a 4-2-3-1. Andre Onana in goal. Lindelof is going to play on the right back. Then Maguire and Johnny Evans in the central defense. Then Diego Dalot obviously playing onto the left back. Casemiro, Amrabat in the double pivot. Bruno Fernandes, right attacking midfielder. Mason Mount, central attacking midfielder. Rashford, left attacking midfielder. And Rasmus Højlund to lead the line. And now, the big question is, how are we going to obviously surpass the pace of Wissa and Mbuemo, because Harry Maguire and John Evans are not all that fast, because Johnny Evans is faster than Harry Maguire, but Harry Maguire is really very slow, and we're having two central defenders all in their 30s, and they've gone ahead to obviously play for the club of Manchester United. It shows you exactly how the danger we are in, but the most important bit of it all is this double pivot of Casemiro and Sofiane Amrabat. Now, did it need us to get an injury of Rafael Varane to see to it that Erik ten Hag plays the double pivot of Casemiro and Amrabat? Because this is what we've been calling in for, that these are things that Erik ten Hag should have gone ahead to do in the recent games. Play Lindelof on the right and Dalot onto the left, and maybe get Harry Maguire, play him with Rafael Varane, or Rafael Varane with Johnny Evans into that back four, and I think that would have gone ahead to get us more results than the style of play went ahead to do, and obviously play Amrabat onto the left back. This experiment failed. We came in and discussed about it, that the experiment has gone ahead to fail, but I understand that this double pivot is going to shield this central defense very, very well, and I don't see them being exposed a lot, because we are having players that are really work ethic into the double pivot. But for Mason Mount, I believe he's going to be playing here. Mount should be playing onto the right attacking side of the midfield, and Bruno Fernandes should be playing here, because Mount doesn't have all what it takes to play the central midfield. Every time he obviously gets the ball, he shuns out and goes to these areas where Rashford is or Bruno Fernandes. Yet we need to see to it that Mount plays as a right attacking midfielder, then Bruno plays in favorite position. When you play Bruno onto the right attacking side of the midfield, you lose out a lot onto Bruno Fernandes and what he offers for the game. That is it. You just need to obviously play him in a perfect position where he thrives. And he just has to do it, but I think we also note that his deliveries onto the right attacking side of the midfield are really low, and Mason Mount would have gone ahead to obviously do the needful. For Højlund and Marcus Rashford, I'm 100% sure that their connection and really balance is obviously heating up and obviously getting to where we deserve it to be. And Rasmus Højlund is leading the line for Man United, and Marcus Rashford is obviously doing the needful. Now, the worry is this central defense of Man United will it obviously surpass this forward line of Brentford? That is the huge question, because when you look at Brentford, they're having the following people or players in their lineup. They're having a system of 3-5-2 with Pinnock, Collins and Aja into the back three. Roosevelt playing into the right wing position. Aaron Hickey playing as a left wing back. Then Janelt, Nogard and Jensen are playing into a 3-man central midfield. That's going to face Casemiro, Amrabat and Mason Mount. Then Wissa and Mbeumo are playing and leading the line for the club of Brentford. This is the threat I'm really talking about, because these players are really fast and their game of football is all about hitting a team on the break. And if at all we don't really see the likes of Sofian Amrabat obviously trying to obviously track back a lot and not commit a lot, we might find ourselves in a position of losing another beautiful game of football altogether, because this is really abysmal. That central defense is really abysmal. If it was Rafael Varane and John Evans, I would have gone ahead to say it's all right, because at least we're having one player who is obviously fast when it comes to obviously attacking those balls that are being played into the space between the 18-yard box area and the half line of the pitch. So that is my own worry, but my excitement is to see how the double pivot of Casemiro and Amrabat is going to operate on the night, because I believe this is the highlight of us to watch. Lots of positives are being registered into Manchester United, but we are having one problem. Those are the injuries that are not allowing this manager to obviously thrive to where he deserves to be, because as we get in other players back, others are just getting injured. Rafael Varane is now out injured. How are we going to play the next games? Because Rafael Varane is proving to be an injury-prone player, and it shows you exactly why Erik ten Hag wanted to get in a centre-back. And this all goes to the board that they sacrificed the choice of Erik ten Hag for not allowing Harry Maguire go. Even if they saw to it, they wouldn't have gone ahead to obviously pay Harry Maguire what he wants. They would have gone ahead to say, let's get £20 million from West Ham, £10 million, add it to the side we're going to pay Harry Maguire, and let him get his package there in a very great way altogether. Then you also sell Scott McTominay for £30 million, get it in. That means we're going to have to be having £50 million. And if we went ahead to execute that early enough, would have gone ahead to see ourselves in a position of really getting in Todibo, Disasi, all came in J. But it's all bad for Erik ten Hag. And if at all you know what we are all about, you have to feel pity for this manager. Everyone who is calling in for him to be sacked, you have to feel pity for this manager. But the positive is we've already gone ahead to beat Brentford, I think in the season of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when they came in when they're having Harry Maguire in that central defense. I think it's a big positive that we've ever gone ahead to win games when you're playing Harry Maguire in the central defense. I remember even when Ralf Rangnick was here, it was Rafael Varane, I think, and I think it was Lindelof and Harry Maguire played the central defense, and he went away from home and beat them by 3-0. I remember Ronaldo scored, even Elanga had to score a goal. So Ten Hag needs to obviously decide, are we playing a high line or a deep line? Because this defense of his is obviously suspect, and it's not good at what we call being quick and fast. They are not ultra quick, and that can obviously affect this beautiful game of football. But Casemiro and Amrabat need to play next to these players, because if at all they don't, we might find ourselves in a situation of losing out on our games. I'm having Alan Ivan today. United is winning. I called in for a 2-1 win in my prediction. Hope it shows up today. And the positive of it is that we've gone ahead to continue scoring goals. That is the hugest positive out of this beautiful game of football. That in the previous games, we've gone ahead to score 3 goals against Bayern Munich, 1 against Burnley. We never scored against Crystal Palace, but we had to score 3 in the Carabao Cup against Palace. In the Premier League, we never scored. We lost 1-0. Then we went and scored 2 goals against Galatasaray, meaning that the goals are coming in. The hugest positive is that we are scoring now. We need to defend better and look better on the day. But the entire backline of Erik ten Hag is injured, and this is where obviously go ahead and obviously ask all the media houses that how do you call in for sacking of such a manager whose backline is totally out? You know, his backline is totally out, and how do you call in for sacking of such a manager? And this shows you that Ten Hag is still here, even if he loses this game, is here. But however much we are having those injuries, that team we are having, or we are fronting, has to beat Brentford. Why? We are having Harry Maguire is earning £200,000 a week, you know, £200,000 a week. You understand? Meaning that this man is earning almost a salary of like 6 or 7 players of Brentford, and he needs to act up on the day, you know. He needs to show that he's an £80 million defender and show us what his qualities are all about, you know. But all in all, we have to obviously see how things really pan out into this beautiful game of football. I'm having Yusuf Mutumba. United will win 2-0. I doubt whether we'll keep a clean sheet. That is what has not gone ahead to cross my mind. I know we might win, but I doubt whether we can keep a clean sheet, guys. That's my hugest doubt. Keeping a clean sheet, I don't see it coming in through, because if the defense of Rafael Varane and Lindelof has been always conceding goals, I doubt that of Harry Maguire and Evans won't concede. But the only positive they are really having is that they're having a double pivot of Sofiane Amrabat and Casemiro playing in front of them. That is the only good doing for this beautiful game of football, because every time you come out and obviously take on teams like these, they'll obviously want to come in through and obviously penetrate and hit you on the break. But we are having 2 players into that central defense, into that central midfield, especially Amrabat with his pace. I think he can run more than Casemiro, and is obviously going to be sitting into that pivot as a CDM, and Casemiro is going to be playing as a box-to-box player. This is something we're going to have to call in for a very, very long time as fans of Man United, because when you look at Casemiro, he has shown us that going forward he can offer us a lot than when we keep him in the CDM position. You see to it that he has gone ahead to score 4 goals this season and is coming from the positions of the midfield, meaning that if I told you let him play as a number 8 and let Sofiane Amrabat play as a 6, as the anchor man, it's obviously going to help us get to where we want to be, and it's going to help us obviously pass through the central axis of the pitch, because Amrabat and Casemiro are both press resistant, and you give kudos to Erik ten Hag for being a good student from his mistakes, because for the games Amrabat has gone ahead to play against Crystal Palace, Galatasaray, he has gone ahead to cost us, close to 3 goals. So he had to do this, and this is why we signed Sofiane Amrabat, and this is why we should judge Sofiane Amrabat when he's playing as a central midfielder, not as a left back, because we saw to it that he is a risk guy who obviously goes in for passes that obviously take us and benefit the club of Man United. But he was being played in the wrong position, and that's why stuff really went ahead to happen on like that. I'm having Gordon Muhwezi. God protect my team. All right, obviously hand it over to the Lord. Live from Western Uganda. Thank you for watching from Western Uganda. Kato Hussein, Manu Shua win. All right, thank you for watching in through. Then Ibra Modak Varane would have started the problem with Ten Hag is that he does not want a player to error. However, he's self-contradictive because he leaves Onana, who conceded 18 goals so far. I think Onana has a full season to prove himself. That is it. Onana has a full season to prove himself. And for Rafael Varane, it's not because that Ten Hag doesn't want to play him. he is injured. He's out. And there is no way you're going to obviously come in through and field an injured player to come in through and take on the job of the club of Manchester United. And it shows you that the entire first choice of Man United is really injured. That is it. It's injured. Luke Shaw is our first choice. Left back is injured. I think we're only having Dallo. Then the other player that is really out is Lisandro Martinez, meaning that everything is not going on as planned. And now Ten Hag was asked about what this man was really all about and suffering from. That is Rafael Varane, and why he never featured onto the field of play and in the squad of Man United. He said Varane had a little problem. If there had been 2 or 3 more days between matches, he could have played, but there it was too short. So I think he's going to return when you're playing. Is it Sheffield away from home? That is it. Sheffield away from home. That is it. And obviously we're waiting to see how things are really going to pan out. Then he was asked about Rasmus Højlund. He said he needs time, but you can already see his progress. I'm sure our offensive game will become more and more fluid, and other players will have scoring opportunities. We are happy with his performance and of his goals, because that's important for a scorer. When you have a goal scorer who scores goals, the confidence extends to the whole team. That is Ten Hag for you, talking about Rasmus Højlund. And on Mason Mount, he had the following to say: Mount is getting better and better from one training session to the next and from one match to the next. I'm sure he will continue to improve, and we are convinced that he will do even more better. Obviously, Mount is obviously showing some progress, but I think it was a very huge mistake for Erik ten Hag to bring in a central attacking midfielder, yet we are having plenty of those. Bruno Fernandes, Donny van de Beek, and Eriksson, Yet, you also know that you want to bring Sofiane Amrabat in, and you want to bring in Mason Mount. So, it was really a very bad calculation for the club of Manchester United, and Ten Hag should obviously get to know that United looks like they never had money, and if you're operating at that scale of Manchester United, you need to obviously play your best. Then I'm having Kato Hussein, Man United sure win, guys. With that central defense, you cannot say sure win, guys. It's going to be a hard game, but all our mercy is lying on 2 players. That is Casemiro and Sofiane Amrabat, because that double pivot should obviously come in through and obviously show us the greatness it really serves to the club of Manchester United. And they should go ahead and obviously do justice to us, because we've for a very long time wanted to obviously do the needful as a club of Manchester United with that double pivot. We've yearned for it. We only saw a cameo of it in the game of Crystal Palace that we won 3-0 in the Carabao Cup. It was just a 20-minute cameo. Right now, they have a chance to prove to us that this is the team that is going to hate to obviously coming through and take us to the next level. Then I'm having Moses Raboni. Greetings from Chiwaga, Uganda. Thank you for watching it through. Adepare Opeyemi, hello. You are saying United 2, Brentford 0. Right. I'm having Webby Siwale RD. We are winning, bro. All right, let's wait and see whether we are winning. But the players are obviously going to obviously circle up at the half and obviously try to really remember the death. I think it's done. Is it done? They're all putting on armbands, black armbands, obviously to really commemorate the death of the wife of Sir Alex Ferguson, one of the greatest managers that the club football's ever gonna hate to have in the world. Then David Zimmerman, nowadays Man United is for prayers. Yeah, we are, because we at least gone ahead to obviously dominate games, but the problem has always been simple. It's all about Arsenal really keeping clean sheets. Then David Zimmerman, you can't be sure if United will win or not. If at all Varane was into this team, right? If Varane was into this team, then and the double pivot of Casemiro and Amrabat would have gone ahead to give us a sure win. But it might be a blessing in disguise that if at all Varane was here, Ten Hag wouldn't have gone in for a double pivot of Casemiro and Amrabat, but the double pivot is on, and the game has gone ahead to be kick-started by Man United. Harry Maguire has gone ahead to find in here to find Casemiro, and he plays a switch ball to Diego Dallo, and Dallo is obviously doing the needful to obviously see to it that we obviously get to where we deserve to be as a club of Manchester United. Looks like Lindelof is playing as a left back and Dallo is playing as a right back. That's what Ten Hag is gonna hate to do. And RD, don't be a doubting Thomas. Today is our day, guys. I predicted that we are winning 2-1, but if you know the pace of Mbeumo and Wissa, you just have to worry because these players can obviously run like they don't have lungs, you know. David is similar. Talk about the Glazers. I've seen the fans of United really line up at outside the club, outside the stadium of Old Trafford, and the protest has been on. The club Glazers out. They want a for sale, not a minority shareholder coming in from Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So that's the latest about the Glazers, and we're here to obviously let you know what the club is all about. Now, guys, allow me leave you for now, and I'm going to return when the game is done with a live video to obviously discuss what this is all about. And 95% are calling in for a United win, and 4% are calling in for a Brentford win, 0% are calling in for a draw, and that's how your polls have gone ahead to be really represented. I thank you for obviously watching in through. Rokan David is my name. My prediction is 2-1 win for United to go into the international break when we've gone ahead to register some good points. We thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. See you when you see.